All right. Today is Daf Nun Vav, and we're holding on Daf Nun Heyom the Beis Umeo Av. So the Gemara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. In brachas, we're going to get there. Umeo Av, my Meo Av. What's this mucus? This different liquids that come out of the nose, otherwise known as boogers. Omar Rav, we have live demonstrations here. Omar Rav b'nigrorim derech hapeh. What's the problem? The problem is that the different liquids that come out of the nose go through the mouth, and what's in the mouth? The worst of the worst, called spit. That's in the Torah, the chiyarik. That's from the real bad stuff. It's like a zav itself. So we have a machlokes here. Rav says that, Avi, welcome back. We have Rav who says that the nasal fluids themselves are not inherently tamei. They just happen to touch roik that's tamei. I don't have to come on to that. Even though they stay in the nose, they're still tamei. Almakos savar mayanhu brachmana rabbi. Anything it said, we learned if it's something that gathers that and then it comes out of the guf, that's also metame. V'rav nichshav nami dimas einoi. Yeah, mixed touch, mixed. Why is that different? Whatever. No, it's there. That's what I meant. Maybe don't take every word I say literally. What about tears? Don't the tear ducts somehow end up in the mouth? They go through the nose, the nasal pass through into the Omarav. If somebody really is in the mood of blinding himself, let him get his makeup done from from a guy, because as he gets it done, they're going to put a little poison in there. If you want to die, if you're in the mood, so you go to Armoy, you get your eyes done. How come he doesn't say that you want to die? How come he just says you want to become blind? It's possible to take to avoid death. You won't avoid blindness because it hits the eye, but it won't go into the system because you could breathe hard and create a situation where the poison goes through the nose into the mouth and you expel it before it gets into the body. You won't die. Akoponim, you see there's a connection between the tear duct and the mouth. So why aren't tears tamei? Because they mix, as Rabbi Shlomo says, mix with the spit. Says the Gemara of Rav Niddah is the aronofik, the masa gufaloi nofik. Tears usually don't mix with the spit. You could get poison out of your eye, but tears not. Tashma. So just a quick chart for today. There are three categories of mashkim, of drinks, of fluids. There's the category that's not mitam at all, that come out of a zav. We're talking about a zav here. Three that come out of that are not tamei, three that are tamei midirabana, they're tumas mashkim, and three that are tumah chamura. It includes other things. Kichoy v'niyah is like roik, and then we have over here, according to Rabbi Yochanan. So, what's not choshev? What's not considered a liquid? Sweat, pus, and waste. They're not choshev. Nobody cares about them, so they're not matama. Then you have tumas mashkim, tears, blood, and milk from a nursing woman. So that's in between. That's the tumas mashkim. Then you have the famous ones that we're talking about: the ziva, meraglayim, and spit that are tumah chamur. They're like a zav himself, and the matama odom v'kelim. So these are the three categories. Says the Gemara, Tisha mashke hazovim. 9 liquids or drinks could come out of, not drinks, but a mashke that comes out of the zav. Hazeya, v'halecha, pas, srucha, alecha, srucha, v'arei, waste. These don't have chashivas at all. Tahoyrim miklum, zero tum. Now we're talking about a category of rishon l'tumah. In other words, these are things that touched a Zav, and in return they become a Rishon. They're not Avatuma, they're one level down called a Rishon. And what could a Rishon do? A Rishon can make a Sheni Midirabbanon. So Mela, these have a halach of the Rabbanon Tuma, Dimaseinu v'dam agefasoi, and blood from a wound, v'chalei v'isha, and milk. Metamim tumas mashkin, how much? Bervius. So this is the Rabbanic halacha of a revius, because otherwise, if it was Dairaisa, we know that Ziva is mitama b'kolshu. Avazoivoi roikoi. Umei miraglo, of these three, metamim tuma chamura. They have the ability to be mitama, a person in Kalim, like the Zav himself. V'ilu me'af leiktani. What happened to you, Rabbi Yochanan, that says that me'af is one of the things. Rabbi Yochanan says that me'af mixes with the spit, and it should be tamei. Bishleim the Rav leikatani. The reason why Rav doesn't say delay psika leila misnei, it's not something that happens every time. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. Zimnin dasi derech hapev, zimnin dasi derech hachotem. If it comes out through the nose, it's completely tar. You're right. If it sometimes comes out through the mouth, then it's tamei. But I can't say it in a list because I don't know what kind of boogers we're talking about. There's different types. Elul Rabbi Yochanan, listening, according to Rabbi Yochanan, they always mix. It should be in the list. He says, Rabbi Yochanan, ultameich kicha v'niyoi mikatani. What about phlegm? Not mentioned in the list. And we know phlegm is mitama. Elatana roiko v'chodasim iribuya. Roik, spit, includes phlegm. Anything that comes from the added drush in the Torah, and memela, it includes me'af as well. So that's why in this list I just added the things that are like roik. You have kicha v'niyoi, and you also have from the ribuy me'af. Dimaseinoi, his tears. Now we have to bring psukim that these three things in the middle category that I'm talking about, that they are considered a mashka. Where do we see that tears are considered a drink, a mashka? How do you see that blood or chalei va'isha are considered a mashka? Because it's
be ignored completely, and me'raglayim is terrible. Me'raglayim, we say.
And what's your question?
Why is that choshev and that's not?
That's choshev. They're both almost the same in most people's minds.
Me'raglayim.
Sorry.
You're asking the me'raglayim. No, but me'raglayim is a special. We had a pasuk, the me'raglayim. Once you have a pasuk, you're finished. It's me'raglayim it gathers and it's part of the. It's just like roik in the fact that it gathers and comes out, and then we had a limud.
So is real.
Yeah, but we don't have a limud for that. Zog the Gemara, Dimas Einoi Dechsiv Vatashkemoi B'Dmoi Sholish. You see, they had him drink tears sholish, a lot of tears. V'dam Agifasoi, it says the word Vatashkemoi, lotion of mashka. V'dam Agifasoi Dechsiv V'dam Chalol Mishte, I'll drink the blood of those that died. Umali Katli Kule, Mali Katli Palge. Every wound is a partial death. Akoponim, you see the blood is considered yishta. You could drink blood, it's a mashka. Chalei v'isha d'chsiv v'tiftach esnoid hecholav v'tashkeu. Oh, here. Maybe raglav in Allah, the sanyo, zoi v'tomei v'zois l'rabois. Here you go. Here's your answer. V'zois l'rabois meimei raglav l'tumo. V'loidinu. I would think you don't need a pasuk. If the spit that comes out of a mouth is not a tummy place, maybe raglov haboim mimokim tomei and idin shiut meim. The aver is a mokim tomei. That's where ziva comes out of. So you should be tomei. But blood that comes out of the aver will prove shabam mokim tomei v'tahar. Yeah, just because it comes out of a mokim tamei doesn't make it tamei. Avatar the tamal ze she'afal pi shebam mokim tume yetar. Tamad loymar zoivay tamei vizois. It says the word vizois. Vizois tells me mei raglayim. The rabbis mei raglayim tuma. So we have to remember the word vizois. Thank you. Vizois comes to be marba. Dam hayotzim mipi ha'amo min Allah on the tar. No, and you told us to your side that blood that comes out of a mokim tamei is tar. How do you even know that? The sanya yochel yedam hayotzim piv u'mipi ha'amo tmeim, even his own mouth. Tamaloymar zoyvoy tamei hu. So now I have another drasha. Before we had v'zois, now we have hu. Hu tamei ve'ein dam hayotzim mipiv u'mipi ha'amo tamei elot tahor. Of course, what? But what about dam hayotzim mipiv that has a little bit of spit in there? That would be tamei. We're talking about dam that, let's say, comes out of his lip, tongue, whatever, that doesn't have the spit in it, that is not tamei. Ask the Gemara of Eipachano. So we have two limudim. We have v'zois and we have hu. Zois came to include meraglaim, and hu came to exclude blood that comes out of the mouth. Maybe fakert. Maybe v'zois should come to include blood that comes out of the mouth, and hu should come to exclude meraglaim. This is even a stronger kasha than you asked before. Maybe I should say a pasuk fakert. That's meraglaim. Who cares? It's mamish not choshev. Omer Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Shimon Meichoi dumya deroik maroik shemis agil v'yotzei afkol shemis agil v'yotzei yotzedam shemis agil v'yotzei. So, if I have two things to choose from, I have blood and I have meraglaim, I'm going to pick meraglaim because it gathers and then comes out, similar to roik, which gathers in the mouth then comes out. But blood, as it is formed, whatever the word is, it comes out right away. It doesn't wait to gather until you have enough. Drip by drip, it comes out. It gathers and then comes out. Why is milk not a tumah chamura? Why doesn't it have? Look at this list. You have in green the tumah chamuras. You have meraglaim, roik, and chalav isha is in the middle category of the rabbanan tumas. Why is it not as strong as meraglaim, since it gathers and then it comes out as roik? Elamar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai dumya de roik maroik misagel v'yoytze v'choyz v'nivla. So I have a new yisod. First of all, until now we always learned that it's misagel, it gathers and then comes out. We're going to add one piece to it. V'choyzer v'nivla. This is the concept of, let's say you have spit in your mouth and you don't spit it out. Most people today don't spit their spit out. So what happens to it? It gets reabsorbed in the body somehow. You swallow it, it goes back in. It doesn't disappear, it goes back in.
You have a guy watching from El Salvador now.
Oy, what's his name? Shalom Aleichem Reb El Salvador. Ech korim lecha?
He's watching the English one.
Ah. All right, people from El Salvador checking in. Baruch Hashem. So you have to understand how it works with urine exactly. I guess you really have to go to the bathroom, then all of a sudden you don't have to go, so it goes back in a little bit. There's a relief. Exactly how that works, I'm not a scientist, I don't know. Yotza chalav shebeisha what?
Talsito.
That's his name? Talsito. Yeah. Right. It poisons other parts. Very nice. I like that.
So does Raya as well.
Yep. I forgot my Spanish. I was going to talk. I used to speak Spanish. Shtickle. Bien, y tú? Nah, como tu t'appelles is French. I'm all mixed up here. Yotza dam shein misaga v'yoytzei. Yotza chol shebi isha she'af al pi shemisaga v'yoytzei ein choyz. But milk is different. Milk doesn't get reabsorbed in the body. It waits to come out. V'zel. V'neiv mizoyvoy. Yeah, I guess if you think about it, that's how it is. If a woman does a nurse, it'll just come out. There's no going back. There's no backwards over there. It's a one-way thing. V'neiv mizoyvoy. Let's learn from Ziva. Ma zoyve she'im misagel v'yoytze v'tomei. The ziva itself doesn't get reabsorbed in the body. Afkol. Omarova mizoyve lekel me'elav she'kein goyim tumah la'acherim. Ziva is different. Ziva causes tumah to the zav, and memela can't learn out from Ziva. V'asheretz, Omer shlokish sheretz sheyovesh v'shildi kayemes tomei. Everybody that reads this line should be in shock. It says that if a sheretz that is dry, but it has its full skeleton, tomei. What's the problem? We just learned yesterday. Mitamim lachim ve'ei mitamim yeveshim. A sheretz is different than a basar hameis. If it's dry, it's not mitamim. So what do we have to say? Rav Shlakish is talking about when the entire sheretz is intact. That's bad news for us, because that means that you cannot walk over to a dead sheretz and pick it up and throw it in the garbage when Mashiach comes, because it's whole. Even if it's really dry, it still retains its tumah. When I say that a dry sheretz is not tameh, because it's not the entire thing. By the way, what we're learning now, we're going to have exactly word for word again in the same exact thing. Instead of yavesh, we flip it to saruf, burnt. Burnt and yavesh is the same exact halacha. We have a contradiction. Bohem means in them, the whole thing. And then on the other hand, it says mayhem, from them, even a part. Yachol bekulam, tamaloi mar mayhem, even part of a sheretz. Imehem, yachol miksasim, so I think you become tamei from a small part of it. Tamaloi mar bohem, you need the whole thing. Hakeitzad, habelach, kam biyovesh. Depends. If it's dry, if it's moist, then even a part of the sheretz is metama. And if it's yavesh, it is mitama, not like the Mishnah says, if it's whole. But what the Mishnah says is talking about that you don't have a whole sheretz. Omerava, hanes zevuge de mechayza, ki shilden kayemes temeim. What's zevuge de mechayza? Says Rashi, if you look at Rashi, dibra maskil zevuge de mechayza, what does he say?
Tzav.
Tzav. What's a tzav? Oh, very good. What's a tzav? Now look over here. What's a tzav? Not a turtle. It's a toad.
That's a tortoise in the
Tortoise, turtle, call it whatever you want. I googled turtle. This is what came out. No, it's not the same. Frog is not a sheretz. Toad is. Toad, this I did. I googled toad. I don't know why this came out. So, again, this is for illustrative purposes. When Mashiach comes, don't use this as a thing. Now, what's very interesting is I'm going back to my hashgacha pratis thing of learning and pulling out gemaras. So when I was doing this exact thing, I'm sitting on the computer. And I'm like, how can I make the frog funny? I need something like. So I googled funny frog. Is it with human teeth? Call me a funny thing. Nah, wasn't good. All of a sudden, my wife sends me a picture, because my wife, when she was much younger, when she was a kid, she liked a certain cake that they sold in the bakery only in Chicago. If you see this picture, you're not going to believe. Only in Chicago they sell this type of cake. And my brother-in-law, as a joke, he bought her a whole tremendous box of these things. As I was looking for the frog thing, so Mamash brought this. You learn a thing, and then all of a sudden, these are called froggies, only to be bought in Chicago. You remember these? Froggies, yeah. See the whole box. Look what Nachi got me. Fine. I'll go upon him. Zog di Marvamer Shlokish. What?
The whole of American society.
Yeah.
And then occasionally build up Kermit the Frog.
That's Kermit the Frog? I don't know what it is. Okay, froggies. Listen, Mashiach brought this. You know, the Gaon says that if you learn one thing and you find it in another, you're learning the same day, you learn two things. It's a kiss from Hashem. So l'chayre, maybe that's what I was misupik if you could go to the froggies and say this. Vamer shlokish. Sheret shenisra v'shildoi kayem estamei. This tells you that the sugya coming up, there are no more charts. That's all it tells you. Sheret shenisra v'shildoi kayem estamei. Right? So we have a burnt sheretz, which is the same exact as a dry sheretz. Tosfos asks, why do we have to mention it even? You find a dead sheretz on top of your fruit, or you find a tattered garment that was tamei, but now it's tattered, it's not tamei anymore. Shukalat meish kishas mitziyosam. Tahirim. The halacha is it's tahir. Why? Because we go based on the time that you found what you found. What did you find? You found a burnt sheretz. A burnt sheretz is not tamei. And then mela, you have to assume everything's not tamei. You can't ask questions. But maybe it got burnt when it was on the zaysim, or maybe the garment became tattered. No. Right now, this is how I found it. So what's the problem? It says mefurish that even though it was burnt, it's burnt, tar. And Rish Lakish is the one that says that burnt and dry, a sheretz is tamei. So what do we have to answer? Like Ashi, Rish Lakish was talking about a full sheretz that's burnt, and over here we're talking about a half a sheretz. This time we have a stira. From them. So what do we do? Mehem means partial. Bohem means the whole thing. Say the same thing. So all these things in the Mishnah are metama when they are moist. Zoiv d'chsiv ror b'sarai. It flows. Kichoi v'niyoi v'roikoi. Whoever speaks German, there's a beautiful pirush in the back of the thing in German. The guy that speaks German, David, last night showed me this. It's very interesting how they say it in German. And they teach it up, something that comes forcefully out of the chest. But anyways, right, because I think Rashi explains on Beis over here, one is like when you have to cough it up hard and it comes out of your lungs. That's kichoy and it comes out a little easier. But the bottom line is phlegm. Anything that's similar to spit. Sheretz, how do you know that it's when it's moist? It's metama bim moisam, like when it dies it's moist. It has to be zera that it could be mazriya. Nevela d'chsiv ki amos ke'ein misa. It has to be moist as metamo, like when it dies. Imicholim liisharois boy Reb Yirmiyah. Very interesting kasha. What's the shear that the Mishnah says? 24 hours in warm water. Now, what does warm water mean? Does it mean that when you put it in, it was warm, but 3 minutes later it's going to get cold? Or does it mean you have to put it in a sous vide? Yeah? The sous vide that Moshe Chaim Stefansky made his steaks last year on Sukkot. You don't remember? It's that machine. You put it into a pot of water, and you put this thermometer in, or like with a heating device, and it keeps, Dr. Epstein knows what I'm talking about, it keeps the meat at a certain temperature, a steady certain temperature. You leave it in there for 2-3 days, and then your steak comes out like butter. This is what all the restaurants are using now. Sous vide, it's called. Ayin Chum. It costs $75 on Amazon, and you get steaks that taste like butter. You were at the Siyum, you gave a speech at that Siyum. What are you looking at me?
I was concentrating on my speech.
Oh, that's the pshat. Okay. Anyways, what's the point? The point is, forget the sous vide. Is there a constant temperature on this water that keeps it warm? Perhaps you have a flame, your fireplace, and you keep the water right next to it so it stays warm. Or no. I mean, we didn't think about it when we read the Mishnah. It says poishrim. How do you keep it on poishrim? If it's under the flame, it's gonna boil eventually. No. So like everything else, l'chayra, there should be a machlokes, right? Maybe perhaps just when you stick it into the water, but not later. A great raya. What's the great raya? Because it says mefurish. Yehuda ben Akosai me'is leis tchilasoi afapi she'ein soifoi. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel met tzrichim shu poishim me'is leis. So straight out machlokes, we don't have a kasha. Rashi just points out that according to Yehuda ben Akosai, it's a kula. Basically, what he's saying is that if you put it into water that is warm, even though it cooled off and it didn't change forms, you're saying that that's not tamei. Had it been in warm water, it would have become tamei, and now he's saying it's not tamei, so that's a kula, it's not tamei. Whereas Reb Shimon ben Gamliel says, no, that's also tamei. No, sorry. Shimon ben Gamliel says,
If it was very hot water,
yeah.
it has to be 24 hours. It would be much
Well, that's a different shear. Then no. Then it wouldn't become tummy because you did something crazy to make it. If you put it under a flame and it becomes liquid again, that's not the shear. The point is not to bring it back to.
Is that the point?
No, the point is to see how dry is it right now. How dry is it right now? Is it so dry that if I put it in lukewarm water, it will turn back to being moist? If I put it in really hot water, it turns back moist. That's not. It's still very dry. That's not metame.
Boiling it.
This is what Mr. Feder said yesterday. It's a very good point. The Mishnah says that Basar Meis is not metama if it's dry. Torah Milatama Mikizayis, according to Rabbi Yossi is Mechulgan Tanakama. If it's so dry that if you try to moisten it up with water, it doesn't become moist, this flesh that comes off a human corpse is not tummy. Wait a minute, why is it any different than corpse dust? And corpse dust, we said, is tummy. Says Gemara, you're right, it's not worse. But you need a ladleful. What's a ladleful? 2 handfuls. So it's a much different shear. What is it metame? Says Rashi, it's metame mago masan oil. Which it's a little puzzling. Rabbi Kiva already discusses it. Different people discuss because it seems like rekev is not metame mago. It's metame b'masa and b'oil. It would be very hard to touch rekev. It's almost impossible to touch rekev because you're not touching the whole rekev. You're touching a piece of flour, a piece of dust that's on the outside. You didn't touch the whole ladleful. So you would have to smear it really, really thin on your hand and touch every single particle, and that's almost impossible. So they say in Chanami, Rashi doesn't really mean it. Okay. Rabbi Yossi Omer, B'sara meish yovesh v'in yochal lishorois v'lachse k'moi shahoyo, Torah milatami kizayis, aval tomei tumas rekev. Mamish mefurish. I don't need any bigger raya because it says straight out that yes, it's not metame tumas basar hameis, which means kizayis, but it is metame tumas rekev, which means a ladleful. Hasheret shenimtza b'mavui. If you found a sheretz in an alleyway, which is like the Rambam says, like a Rishus HaYachid, mitame lemafreya. Now I don't know when that sheretz arrived there, when it died, and all my trumas and kachim that I did there perhaps touched this dead sheretz. It's very similar, as the Mishnah brings out specifically, to the halacha that we learned of a kesem. A woman finds a kesem, she doesn't know how long back it's there. She's been wearing this beged for a month. It might have been there for months. Everything that she touches is tamei. So too by sheretz. Two things. Either he says, on Monday I checked the mavui, and memela, up until Monday everything is tahar. From Monday until the time that you find the sheretz, today's Tuesday, so everything for those 24 hours, let's say, is tamei. Oy achas kibud, or you could say I swept the mavui. And the Gemara is going to discuss the sweeping include checking or not. Over here it says until you sweep. And so too a woman who has a stain on her clothing, it goes back all the way to the time until she says, it says the Lashon Zachar, until she says I cleaned the clothing or I checked the clothing. Now these two things, a sheretz and a ketem, umetama bein lach bein yavish, which is also a little puzzling because the Mishnah right before said that a sheretz is not metama yavish. So we have to explain l'chayra that we're talking about a whole sheretz. Yeah. Reb Shimon Omer hayavish metama lemafreya. Shimon says something very interesting. If it's dry, so you go all the way back. It doesn't matter until the last time you cleaned out your mavui. The halach, but if you're like a scientist, what do they call those guys, those doctors, the forensic scientists? You look at a dead sheretz, you give it a little squeeze. Oh, this seems like it's dead for 2 days, not more, because if it's more than 2 days, it'll start getting hard. And it was sunny outside. This is in the shade, different temperature. Kitzur, you can figure this out. Every sheretz in every place in the world is different. You can figure it out. You figure it out when the last time it's possible that was moist. But since it's moist, you know that this is not sitting here for 2 months. You start going back. It's not a month. So what is it? It's between 3 days and 4 days. Okay, fine. and then you give yourself, everything else is tamei. Iboiluhu. We said 2 shiurim in the Mishnah. Person checks his mavui, so everything until that point. So let's go back. Nachamal. A guy does he sweeps his mavui on Monday. He finds a sheretz on Tuesday. So he says, okay, everything from Tuesday until Monday is tamei. Why? Because I swept my mavui. What about everything before Monday? From Sunday to Monday. What's the halacha then? So that's what the Gemara is wondering. Achas kibud cheskosei baduk. Do we say that when a person sweeps, he also does a bdika, he checks, and therefore he knows that there's nothing there from Sunday to Monday? Memela, everything there is tar. There's no dead sheretz forever. Or dilma cheskosei miskabed. No, perhaps he just does. He sweeps. What if a person says specifically, I swept and I'm telling you right now I didn't check? If you tell me that when a person sweeps, he also checks, that's if he doesn't tell you anything. But if a person tells you straight out he didn't check, then you can't assume that he checked. And if you find something that was there before, you have food that was there beforehand, it should be tamei. What if you say that there is a chazaka when you sweep? That's it. You don't need to do a bdika. Hamiskabed. At the end of the day, he swept it. Inami the ishtakach beguma. What happens if you find it inside a pit, inside some sort of hole or something in the ground? Now, if you tell me that when you sweep, you also check. You're careful, you want to sweep well, so you're checking well, and you're checking for all these shrotzim, so you're going to check all the holes. Now we have the same exact question, word for word, on a woman's clothing. And then the Gemara is just going to give us one answer for both. So we said by kesem, from the point that a woman finds it, she goes back to when she laundered her clothing or when she checked her clothing. Do we say achas kibus cheskosei baduk or dilma cheskosei miskabes? She just cleaned it, but she never checked it. Lemay nafkemina the omar kibes veloy badak. If she says specifically, or he says specifically, I washed the clothing, I did not check. Iyamris cheskosei baduk holy badak. At the end of the day, there's no chazaka. You can't say that when you wash clothing, you're doing a bdika. When a person says straight out, I didn't do a bdika. Iyamris cheskosei miskabes or miskabes. Inami dishkach bisitra. You found the blood at the edge of the clothing. Sitra is similar to the guma that we had by sheretz. So let's check everything. If you're going to do a bdika, so you're checking it that there's no dam anywhere. If you're just saying that, oh, I cleaned it, it's hard to get to the edges of the clothing, and memela, the dam could have been there. Mai Toshma. Why do we go backwards, retroactive, and give tumah for everything that all the food that were there? But you don't go backwards. You don't go more than when the bdika was. Over here it says there's a bdika that comes together with sweeping. And if he says specifically, I didn't do a bdika, then everything even before that sweeping is tamei. And the same thing by a woman. I wonder, I'm thinking out loud. Why does it say Lashon Zachar that he was checking and all of a sudden says B'nai Yisrael Boitkas Chalukayim? Obviously, he's talking about the women. It was like a Lashon Nakiya kind of thing. I wonder if somebody talks about it.
It's a hint that the husband should do the clothing grade.
But then it says B'nai Yisrael Boitkas Chalukayim B'shas Kibusayim. All those Gemaras that women were washing the clothing in the river. It's tznius, not tznius. I guess it was their job back then. Anyway, it says mefurish that there's a bdika done together with the sweeping. There's a bdika done together with the cleaning of the clothing. And unless a woman says, I didn't do a bdika, then we assume that everything beforehand was baduk. When you take the clothing right before you put it in the washing machine, you check to see that there's no stain.
If it's swept into a hole, then
Oh, that's something else. Now you're getting technical. But you check the holes. Rabbi Omar, Tachzor v'techabsenu. Rabbi says, what's the problem? What are you worried? That perhaps it was there beforehand? Let's see, let's do a science test. Let's put it back in the washing machine. Im nidcha, if it fades, marisa b'yidua shalachi kibos, then you should know that the stain came afterwards. Because why didn't it fade in the first place? She washed it. And why, right? If it fades after you do a second laundry, then you know that it came between the two laundries. Ve'im la b'yidua shalifnei kibos. Rabbi Yomer, and the doive kesim shalachai kibos, lekesem shalifnei kibos. They're very different. Shezem magdir, one gets absorbed into the clothing. Shezem maglir, and this one is thicker. Shma mino cheskosei boduk. At the end of the day, we have a raya to our question that we had on the top of the Amud, that when it comes to sweeping and when it comes to cleaning, that itself wouldn't help. It goes together with a b'dika. There's a b'dika that comes together with sweeping. And that's why it helps. Shma mino. Says the Gemara, Matama bein lach, Omar Rebbe Lozor loishonu el sheretz, aval ketem lach nami mitama lemafreya. So very interesting. When you have a ketem that is moist, mitama lemafreya. Why? Emar yovesh hoya umayin of alei. It's very possible this was a dry. So again, we had a test. We said, depends where you are and how long it's moist. You know that if it's dry, then it couldn't have died. Then it died a long, long time ago. But if it was moist, then it happened right now. Says the Gemara, that only applies to sheretz. This kind of logic. Aval ketem lach nami mitamel lemafreya. If I have a ketem, you see a moist ketem, so you're going to tell me what? It's impossible. It's more than 5 hours old because blood congeals. And therefore, if it's moist now, it didn't happen more than 5 hours ago. Not true. It's possible that you introduced liquid to it, and then it became moist again. Eimar yovesh hayu mayin ofal alei. In fact, the Gemara sheretz nami yovesh hayu mayin ofal alei. Say the same logic with the sheretz. The way shrotzim work, if you introduce liquid to them, they will fall apart. Says the Mishnah, Kol aksomim haboy merekem tahir. Rekem is like on the border of Eretz Yisrael, and it's a goyish city. So therefore, any stain that you find there, you have to assume it comes from a goy, and the dam of a goy is tar anyways. And certainly the rabban on a kesem, on a stain on a piece of cloth that could be from 100 different things. It could be from an animal, it could be from a goy. It's tar. No, these are gerim that went off. And memela, they don't know about ksamim, they don't hide their ksamim, they're not careful about ksamim, they don't care about ksamim anymore. And memela, but they are still Jewish. Once you become a ger, you remain Jewish. And memela, you have no choice. They're tamei. Says the Mishnah Nu Halacha, Haboy mebein hagoyim tahir. Any kesem that comes from within a goyish area, roiv goyim, tar. Mebein Yisrael, mebein hakusim. The Gemara is going to dissect this a little bit and rearrange the wording and explain a little better. When it comes from Jews and kusim, Rabbi Meir metamel, v'chachamim mitarim. Rabbi Meir says they're tamei because kusim are considered Jews, v'chachamim mitarim. And we're going to have to explain what's going on here. So we have to remember these last words. Why do Chacham say it's tar? Because we're not concerned that the kusim, that the Jews are going to throw around the ksamim, they're going to bury them, they're going to take care of them. It says the Gemara, Kapasik Ketani. It says anywhere in the world that if you're talking about a goyish neighborhood, the kesem is tar. I feel with tarmoid. No, there's a lot of goyish. The mission doesn't say, oh, everything besides tarmoid. Or Rabbi Yochanan zoysim meres mekavim gerim tarmoid. So if tarmoid is considered a goyish neighborhood and a kesem that comes from there is tar, so mela, the people that live there are goyim, and therefore I could accept them as gerim. We have to be concerned that tarmoid people are mamzerim and you can't accept gerim from there. Maybe Rabbi Yochanan is just saying the halacha over that you could have gerim from tarmoid, but he doesn't really believe it. The halacha is like our Mishnah, that if there's a stam mishnah, the halacha is like the stam mishnah, and Mamela, I can't say Rabbi Yochanan doesn't hold like the stam mishnah. Says the Gemara, Amaroi ninu v'aliv the Rabbi Yochanan. There's a machlokes in Rabbi Yochanan if he holds that the halacha is like a stam mishnah or not. Mibein Yisrael. So it says in the Mishnah, if the kesem comes from a Jewish neighborhood, or Mibein Akusim, so machlokes. Rameir says it's tamei, Reb Chacham says tar. Rabbanon, Id Yisrael mitarei, deman mitamu. Unbelievable. If you find the kesem that comes from a Goyish neighborhood, tar, because they're Goyim. If you find the kesem that comes from a Jewish neighborhood, tahar. So then what kesem is tamei? You have to explain like this. Mi ben Yisrael tamei. No, of course, if it comes from a Jewish neighborhood, it's tamei. Mi ben kusim. The Chacham, we're talking about the second part, the second half of the line. Kusim. Remeir metame the kusim geir emesem. The famous shaila. Why did the kusim become geirim? Because they felt like it. They wanted to become geirim. Chacham metame the kusim geir aroisem. They were forced with lions, so they're not really considered geirim, and therefore the goyim. So look at the last words of the Mishnah. It says, because we're not worried that kusim are going to throw out the ksam in the street. It should say, the reason why the tar is because they're not really game. They're goyim. The kusim geri emesay. But if they were found in the city, a Jewish city, if you find a kesem in a Kusi city, right? Because a Kusi, yes, he's a ger, but he doesn't believe so much in the Chachamim and that kind of, he's not concerned with the kesem. They're not concerned. Taisus just asks, we'll finish right over here. But Taisus asks, how's it possible? If a Kusi, we know Kusim don't care about the Rabbanans, so all of a sudden they're not nechshed on a Kesem? If the whole Kesem is the Rabbanan, why are they not nechshed? Have a gewaldige day. Yep.